Yo, what is up, folks? SK here, and today we are going to do a review on Skater XL. Now, this is completely out of the box because I don't usually do other style genre games, but the skating genre is one of my favorites since I was a kid. We all played Tony Hawk Pro Skater. If you grew up in the '90s, at least in 2000s, you played Skate, so you were in there at some point. Now, I did receive this from Easy Day Studios for free to do a review on. But as always, my thoughts will be my own, so I will be saying the positive and negative about this game without being influenced by the company. Now, aside from being outside the genre of games I usually do, this game is actually very far outside of the playstyle I usually play when I play skating games. Because I did skip most of the skate genre except for Skate 1. And playing this kind of, it threw me for a loop because of the muscle memory that I had from playing Tony Hawk. And so the first thing you're going to realize is that there are no input buttons to do automatic tricks. All of your tricks come from whatever memory you have of being able to put the buttons together. So you're going to have to deprogram yourself completely when you start playing this game. And it threw me for a very wild ride when I first started because I was like, how do I even go? Because it didn't throw me into a tutorial when I first started. It just threw me into the setting of Easy Day High School. So I was like, what's going on? So it took me a while to actually get around moving and figuring out what the buttons do. So your left and your right stick would correspond with your left and your right feet. Your X and square control your pushing off from whatever feet it is. So X would be your right foot, where square would be your left foot. And then your left and right bumpers, well, your left and right bumpers would be the left and right side of your body. So you grab with your left side or you grab with your right side. And then your R2 and L2 triggers would be you're rotating to your left or your right based on whatever trigger you're using. And it took me a while to actually get that down because I like I said, this is like my first time having to go through and put not input a command, but actually feel like I'm skating, but not. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was brand new to me. So I put a lot of hours into this since I've gotten it. I put probably at least 15, 16 hours into this. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not even any better from when I started. I still screw up a lot of the tricks. I do screw up a lot of the commands to enter, like you're trying to grind. I can't grind. I am horrible at grinding. I love grinding though. I love grinding on Tony Hawk. I love grinding. I love doing manuals. But on this game, grinding is it's so difficult to do, like, because you have to place your board directly on the side of the rail you want to be on, and then you have to lock onto. There's no magnet locking onto the rail either. So if you land on the rail and you don't, if you land close to the rail, like on other games where you would land like close to the rail and you press a button and you automatically latch onto the rail or whatever, or feel like you automatically latch onto the rail. There's none of that in this. You have to actually place your board on the side of the rail you want to be on and land on it from that side, and then you still have to balance yourself using your left and your right stick or your left and your right triggers to move your body to that side. And it really threw me for a loop, like I said. And yeah, it was just really weird. Like, you see me here in the tutorial practicing skills because, like, I just didn't know what to do at this point. That's not to say that the newness of it wasn't enjoyable, because I was super hyped about it still as I was learning. And I'm the type of person to actually love learning something new. So this was just completely, this was like flooring me because, like, I play fighting games as well. So going through this, and like, you have to input the buttons at a certain like time. This makes you have to slow down what you're doing, but still be able to precisely control what you're doing. So I'm like trying to go as fast as I can and input the buttons to get off a command, but you can't get a command off because you're doing it by a physics motion rather than an input motion. Which it just I don't even know how to put it. It's just really, it's not frustrating, but it's hard to unlearn decades of gaming in that way. Like it's like losing all of your muscle memory for every game you've ever played and having to start all over from the very beginning. And once again, this game is very heavily physics based. So you're not gonna go flying off into like 1,000 feet into the air, launching off like, all these tricks like you would in old skating games. You have to like abide by the laws of physics that exist within the game. And to me, that's also amazing. I love the fact that they do that. it does make it, like I said, it makes the learning curve a lot harder. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your simple going over a ledge would stop you because you have to jump, you have to ollie over the ledge or nollie over the ledge. You can't just like clip onto the ledge or whatever. You have to jump onto the ledge, and that'll knock you off your board if you're doing it at high enough speed or whatever. Or if you don't land perfectly, you'll fall off your board. Or if you run into a car, you'll fall off your board. It's a lot of stuff like that that just make it to where, and it's a lot of those new things that make this game super enjoyable because, like I said, it's something that I've never seen before. I don't know if you guys have seen it before in one of the games that you've played before, but this is new to me. This is completely new to me. Even in Skate 1, the last Skate game that I played, it didn't feel like this. It didn't feel as genuine to the skating culture as this does. And as you go through this, you can actually go ahead and go through tutorials. I mean, not tutorials, but challenges to learn how to do these new tricks and stuff. How to do these tricks based off of your control position, how you press your buttons and stuff like that. So here I am doing some of the challenges, and I don't land some of these. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of these are just like, I started off. This is where I just first started off, and I botched a lot of these. And then so one thing that is with the game is that you realize that once the music changes on console, the game will kind of freeze sometimes, and if you're in the middle of a trick, it'll stop you. So yeah, that'll screw you up as well. And like, it'll say like things like, with the challenges, it'll say things like do front side, do back side, and front side, back side result require you to press R2 and L2 to change whatever side you're rotating to. So if you're doing front side 180, you press R2, whereas you're doing back side 180, you press L2, and it'll turn your character based on whichever way you're supposed to be going. And something else I realized later on as well from doing these challenges is that sometimes you don't have to do what the challenge asks you to do. Like, it says jump over the gap. You can just stop. You can stand where you are, do the trick, and it'll complete the challenge for you. Now, that's a cheap way of doing it. I don't think that's meant to be how it is, but that's how you can do things if you want to learn how to do it just by standing still, without having to risk the chance of having to go do it again and having to restart again. You can try to do it in the spot and it'll complete it, and then you can try to do it again while you're doing whatever the motion is, like jumping over a gap or jumping over a bench. So that's one thing to actually take note of. Now, the challenges start off from basic just ollies and nollies to like ending up to you doing full hardline tricks to where you're running like 3 or 4 tricks before you stop your session. And it just goes like that. The music in the game is phenomenal. I love every track that I've heard in the game so far. I do hope they add more music to the game. I didn't get to put a chance to put them into the video because I wasn't sure if I was going to get copyrighted or not for having the music on here. So I just went ahead and left those off just in case. Like I said before, there are a few bugs when it comes to the game, and that's to be expected, to be honest. It's not anything that's super game breaking, but it will get annoying sometimes when like I said, the music switch is one of the biggest ones, to be honest. I do feel like the physics are set too high to where, like, if you bump into a wall, you'll fall off your board sometimes. Like that right there. When I landed, I hit the wall and I fell off my board. Not every skater is going to hit a wall and fall off their board. Some of them will reground themselves and be fine right after that. But that's just how they set the game to be. So we'll see if that changes in the future. Hopefully it does. Not every single wall will knock you off your board, I guess. There are certain things where I just did things to do things, especially in this part of the video. I do love this map specifically because it reminds me of one of the old Tony Hawk maps from, I think, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2? Might have been 1. I think it's 2. But it's just a map full of ramps in the desert. That's all it is, a map full of ramps in the desert. It might have been 3, actually. Anyway. So, yeah, I think this game is really worth the amount of money they asked for it. And if didn't send it to me for free, which it's funny because the night before, when me and one of my friends were actually talking about if we were going to pick up this game or not, and he was going to go pick it up, and I said I don't know if I was going to. I had to go look it up first, and I think I looked up like one video before I went to sleep, and I planned on looking up more when I woke up, and then the next morning I got the email that they sent me a copy of the game. Now, earlier I said you weren't going to get some like crazy amount of air in the game, like you weren't going to be able to fly off into the sky and do a bunch of tricks. But there are like some spots where if you gain enough momentum, you will be able to actually get a decent amount of air off launch and do a certain amount of tricks before you land. This is one of the good spots right here, like I said. And then the highest I've gotten was this off of this ramp right here. But I couldn't do any tricks because I kind of panicked when I got up there, because I flew straight off the map instead of flying like up. And I didn't know what to do after that. So I was like, well, that's that. And I kind of panicked trying to like press buttons to see if I can like, regain, but it didn't work like that. I know it didn't work like that. I just tried it anyway. So yeah, Big Ramp is my favorite, but there are 5 maps to select from, and that's East Day High School, the Big Ramp, Downtown Los Angeles, which is pretty much a copy of Downtown Los Angeles, even up to the Staples Center, the California Skate Park, and then West LA Courthouse. And then there are 3 community-made maps, which they're pretty decent-sized maps. They're not like super huge like the actual official maps, but they do have an attention to detail that make them enjoyable when it comes to playing on the community-made maps. And this one, I think Streets is actually a callback to Tony Hawk as well. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm just seeing things. So at the moment, there is no story mode or campaign mode to play through. It's just a really big expressive sandbox that allows you to enjoy the game and play through the challenges to figure out, things you want to do. There is no point system either, which is kind of a downer for me because I like to have my little point system to know what tricks are, worth what. And also currently you can't get off your board, but you can set your waypoint to pretty much anywhere on the map except for, of course, the super tall skyscraper buildings, which once again sucks because, I'd like to be on top of the skyscrapers at some point. But I digress. And at the moment, the game does not have any multiplayer connections, but they are planning on adding those things post-launch, depending on how community feedback handles it. So might want to keep an eye out for those. I'd say the biggest way to keep up with the information on the game would be to join their Discord, and because they're kind of rapid firing information when it comes to their Discord. As soon as they know it, we know it. All in all, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first started off, I didn't like it because it took me so long to get the controls. But after putting as many hours I did into it, I'm starting to fall in love with it just because of how unique it is to a skating game, and how it actually makes it feel like you're working for your tricks, you're working for your sessions and stuff like that. So do I say if the game is worth $39? I believe it is. I personally believe it's worth $39. If it was $59, I probably wouldn't do it because it's not complete yet. It's not a complete game, I'm not gonna lie to you. $39, it is worth it if you want to have something to play and just get used to it, and if you want a nostalgic feel of just skating. If you want a game where you can sandbox skate and just ride around and do tricks and stuff, I would say get it. There is like a clip reel mode where you can like take and make clips of your sessions that you do, and I guess stick them together and then make movies. So if you're into that, you can go ahead and do that as well. If I had to make a rating system, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And once again, that's just because of things that aren't in the game yet, if they are coming to the game at any point in the future. That's just my personal thing when it comes to my pointing system. That's based on the price as well, like I said, and just things like that. But yeah, I think anyone that is interested in a skating game that wants to get a whole new feel for skating, pick this game up and do expect a challenge when you do pick it up. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, that's my opinion on Skater XL by EC Day Studios. And thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and share with a friend that might be interested in if they want to get Skater XL and want the opinion of a small-time YouTuber. And let me know if this helped you make your decision if you want to get the game or not. I will post more videos as soon as I get used to the game. Like I said, I'm putting a lot of hours into this game. Not because I don't have anything to play right now, which I really don't. But because I do enjoy it a lot. I do actually enjoy it a lot. Like, I've gotten to enjoy it more since me picking it up. The first hour, I really wasn't having fun, to be honest. When I first picked it up, I was like, this is so frustrating. I don't know how to do anything. And then after I got my hands into it and figured out how to do so, I was like, okay, this is a lot more fun now. I'm actually enjoying this and understanding how to play the game. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, like I said once before. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.